the heart of the nation where laughter's the key. Natch has the podcast, join the revelry. Taking the Mickey with positive spin. Country folks unite, let the Nat Chat begin. Nat Chat where the laughter's free. Spinning tales about politics with positivity.
A very wise man once told me, then told me again and again and again and again, that if your lips are bleeding from saying something that matters and giving a message, someone is only just hearing it for the first time. I said it in my inaugural speech, it's in my Insta bio, and I will keep saying it. We put food on your plate and champions on racetracks in Mildura. One of those champions is also one of the most humble human beings you're ever likely to meet. Josh Waters, three-time Australian Superbike champion who's sitting nicely on top of the table in this year's championship, touch wood, and is about to head to Japan for the 11th time to ride the Suzuka 8-hour. It's a rock star event where people pay thousands for a VIP package just to meet the man that you've probably seen washing windows during the week in Mildura. He works hard, he's disciplined and focused. He rides hard, and this week he's in the pits at Hatta with his brother, Brody. Yeah, okay, I love frocking up in high heels and a power suit or whatever, but I also love motorsport and musical theatre. They are not mutually exclusive. And I could have sat and talked to Josh for hours just picking his brains about all sorts of elements, and you'll notice that it's like a couple of ADHD kids going off track and coming back around and getting to the point the long way. And that's fine. It is a bit hard to keep things on track when there's two excited people chatting away about something they love. It's probably why radio stations employ anchors. But it was great to have him come in this week for a chat about why Mildura is such an incredible motorsport nursery of champions. Just on your lunch break?
Yep.
That is just bizarre to me. How are you, Josh?
Yeah, all good. Thanks for asking me to come on.
Oh, an absolute pleasure. I'm sorry it's taken so long, but, you know, it's been busy and you've been busy. When you're in town, I'm not. And when I messaged you on Instagram during the week, I went, oh, geez, the 8 hours not that far away. Anyway, so I'm glad you're here because there's a fair bit to unpack. First of all, are you sitting on top of the table at the moment?
Yeah, at the moment. We've had 3 rounds so far and, it's all going all right. So
I'm not going to jinx it. I'm hopefully not going to jinx it.
All I can do is just keep trying my hardest, and I would love to try and win my 4th championship because in the history of, superbikes, which is road racing in motorcycle discipline, no one's been able to win 4, so that would be pretty special. And there's been so many legends of our sport that, haven't been able to do that. So it'd be pretty cool to have my name as that.
I mean, to win 1 is an amazing effort. To win 4 would be, I mean, you've won 3.
Yeah.
Most people would be like, oh, all right, let's, come on, settle down. Yeah. But you're off to Japan again. Yeah. And this is your 10th, 11th time?
11th. So it's crazy. The Suzuka 8-hour, if you're into motorcycles, it's a very prestige event because the Japanese manufacturers, it means so much to them still. And also the big thing is we have riders from all nationalities and championships throughout the world that come and compete at this one. Riders such as Valentino Rossi, Mick Doohan have all competed and won the event.
Yeah. So you're racing against literally world-class, world champion MotoGP riders.
So that's where it's great for your ego sometimes.
Oh, particularly when you overtake them on the track.
Yeah. I'm on good equipment this year. I'm very, very lucky. All the stars have aligned. I'm the veteran of the team. I don't feel like I'm the old guy, but I'm the old guy in the team. So that's my role, is to be, for advice and so on. I'm the only round eye. Not that, so I see better at night than so. I'll
Is
be
that
doing
actually a thing?
I'm not sure, but they seem to think that because I've got
they
blue
make
eyes.
the joke. Fair dinkum.
Blue eyes and so because this is the race obviously goes for 8 hours. It starts at 11:30 in the morning and then finishes at 7:30. The last 45 minutes are dark. Wow. You're still going over 300. It's
I find it hard to get my head around that.
Yeah, so it's the big thing is seeing the light, and you think that someone's closer maybe or coming up the inside of it, so you have to judge that. But the race is so difficult because it's the middle of Japanese summer. The humidity is like crazy, so each stint we lose around 2 to 3 kilos. We're not allowed the drip.
You're not allowed to do the IV.
Yeah, so we're not allowed to hydrate, obviously, with
you need to
drugs
take a few more of those
yeah,
aqualites.
so that's where the aqualite. I need to make sure that I'll get passed by Asada or Wadia or whatever. Whatever it's called now.
I forgot about that. You have to be really conscious of all that stuff.
Yeah, that's one thing in the racing. I always seem to pull that short straw, and they always, I always have to pee in the bottle in front of someone.
Do ya?
At the races. So
is that because you look like anyone's...
I think that they picked 3 and I'm Motorcycling Australia's one that they say because they're obviously hoping no one gets pinged.
Yeah, right.
But they think the person from the country town is most likely to to be safest.
Great.
Safest.
I'm glad you
so
say
that's
that.
why they do that.
Right.
That's why I'm... Because I've said to, why do I always get picked?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember the first time I ever did it, stage fright like crazy, and you're like,
unable to go.
Yeah. But then now it's,
But you would have to be, like with that aqualite stuff that FRV have given me.
Yeah.
So, but you'd have to look at every ingredient, everything that you put into your body.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, like, I use this as an example. Like, it's just easier not to have a protein ball that, from example, like black milk, they're amazing protein balls and so on, but I just can't risk. And that's the stupid things that people get pinged by. It's not, I thought it was if someone was taking cocaine or.
But they don't test for cocaine, do they?
No, and that's the crazy thing. It's only a 30-day ban.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's crazy short. This is what I was told at the end. Or don't hold us to that, but
It
but was crazy,
swimmers...
and we were like, "This is crazy. It should be a drug's a drug. It should be 4 years.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you're off." But it was, they're more after the performance enhancing ones, not the party ones.
Yeah. But if you look at like our swimmers, Warney, who took a diuretic given to him by his mum, Maria Sharapova.
Yeah,
like these are all things that. Probably absent. I didn't even until you said it just then. I'm like, oh God, I've just given you a sachet of hydration stuff, not even thinking. And it would be, I would imagine.
Yep.
The same sort of thing.
That's the crazy thing, because they do come often. Yeah. And it's
Oh gosh.
So yeah.
And that bans you from every event worldwide,
for 4
doesn't
years.
It? For 4 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I hope that
Well, don't take that before you check, please. I don't want to be responsible.
I just take my electrolytes that I get from the chemist and
Yeah, right. So like hydrolyte.
Yeah, hydrolyte and those kind of things, and then
because you would need that riding the 8 hour. Because I really want to get stuck into this because this is just I get tired beating on a bike for any more than an hour. I'll be honest, in dirt and I ride in sand.
Yeah.
8. So how long are you riding for? How long are your shifts?
So
each?
the stints. The team aim to have 7 stops throughout the race, so that's 8 stints.
Yep.
8. You're not allowed to do more than 2 back to back.
Okay.
So ride for 2 hours, but it's near impossible. The intensity of the race now, it's near impossible.
And 2 hours would go like what seems like 10 minutes.
Forever.
Right?
No, it takes forever. So I did. A couple of weeks ago when I was there last, we had to do, all 3 riders had to do a race run and you just don't want to do it. And then I followed my teammate for a little bit and then in my head, I went really good and then he pulled off to the side. So I didn't have a carrot to chase.
Yeah.
And I thought, have the time, how long roughly to go on the screen. I thought, if me, I've got a long time to go, like woo down.
Yeah.
Because I was doing my personal best ever lap times around this circuit. And as soon as I told my head that, I couldn't get within a second of the time I'd done the lap before, like for the next, because I told my head.
Yeah.
So it's stints are around an hour and 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's just the heat. You're riding around with 64 other motorcycles. They're all different. A little bit like Hatter this weekend.
Yeah.
You've got guys that have spent the last 3 to 6 months dedicating their life to racing this event. And then you've got guys that 6 hours before entries open decide that they're going to do it and it's a bucket list.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
That'll be me when I actually do decide to go and at least do a prologue.
That's what it's like. So yeah, you're riding, but then you have to judge. Like, what's this?
So the Suzuka's like that as well. I would have thought to actually get to that level, because it's a really prestigious race.
Yeah.
I would have thought you'd have to qualify or something.
You do. They have numerous qualifying races throughout the year, but then because we're an international team, or I'm a part of an international team,
how many nationalities on your international
Japanese,
team?
Malaysian, and Australian.
Yeah, and you.
So the Malaysian, his race MotoGP.
Do they call you Skippy?
No, it's just like we joke around. They just like, what? We just make conversation like, what do you eat for dinner? And obviously the Malaysian doesn't eat pork. And it's just like, it's a normal thing to have kangaroo, you know? And he's like, for real? And then
it's actually really good for you.
Yeah, and it was actually funny because we went out to a farm before I flew back over there, before that Monday night that I flew back over, and the kids were riding around on their little four-wheelers and more along a fence line. There was a kangaroo.
Oh, you kidding?
And jumping. That's what I was like. And we killed it, you know, and we ate it. And they're like, no way.
Video. Yeah.
And I was like, no, we didn't. But
no, but we could have. Yeah. And that's the point.
But
so you do have to – so there is a level of qualification that you have to go through.
Yeah. So – but I'm fortunate that I don't have to go through that.
I was going to say, you've ridden with this team, though.
I've never ridden with this exact team, but the bloke who owns the team, I was actually teammates with him in the first ever Suzuka 8 Hour I did. So I rode for a famous brand called Yoshimura.
Yeah.
And, we...
Yeah, so this is not is this the Yoshimura team?
No. So Yoshimura are a rival team. I'm actually riding for... So...
it's really confusing.
Yeah, the four Japanese manufacturers are Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki, and Kawasaki. Yep. They all run teams. Mm-hmm. I'm a black sheep this event because I'm riding Ducati. Ducati is Italian.
Yep.
They've really started to become dominant in all motorsport, motorcycle road racing. So now they want to dip their toe in and try and beat the Japanese in their backyard. So
they should.
Yeah.
It's a bit like KTM, really, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. It's like that. So, I'm on the black sheep.
KTM have cornered the market, although they look like they're being rivaled by Gas now. So.
Gas and owned. It's all owned by the same thing.
And Husky are owned by...
Yeah, it's all the same blanket.
You can't beat them by them, it seems, in motorsport.
So, but, it's pretty cool to be... It's a dream, so I just hope that I... Yeah.
Gee whiz, I tell you what, if you were to go over there and win on a Ducati, that would be, that'd be something to write home about.
Yeah, but with that event, you need all the stars to align. You need to have all the luck, and you need your rivals. And I don't wish this on anyone, but you need other people to have bad luck.
Yeah, but that's motorsport.
Yeah, it is, and it's like Bathurst, and
it's like every race.
Yeah, it's like all exactly, but. Yeah, you really need that. That's what I've learned after the few years that I've done it.
Yeah. Well, that's the same. And everyone that I speak to in particularly motorsport, in other sports too, but particularly motorsport, is you need the other bloke to have a bad day.
Yeah.
And that's no one wants that. No one wants to see anyone putting their safety at risk. But at the end of the day, if you want to win, then someone needs to have a bad day, and better them than you.
Yep. And you just need to all week and do as a team is just focus on ourselves.
Yeah.
So the crazy thing with the team, it's Italians. A lot of the team is Japanese, obviously. Yeah. Because it's a Japanese team. We've got help from Italy. We've got people back in Italy that are like working on the computers as they get the information and so on. But one of the head guys in the team he actually works for the team that I ride for in Australia. We went to the same primary school. His name's Adrian Monti. His father worked at Lindeman's. It's just like such a crazy thing. And now he's employed by Ducati course.
Yeah.
He has a job that people dream of. He's so smart.
Kid from Mildura.
And I used to not like him when we were like, because he worked for the other team, and I didn't mean it like,
Yeah,
like,
but it's that rival thing. Yeah.
I wish that we could beat you kind of thing. And now, and it wasn't until the first time that I worked, and he's like, I used to live in Mildura, and I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
And he's like, I went to Mildura South, and I'm like, yeah, so did I. And it's like said the library teacher, and he's like, that was my library teacher. And then,
oh my God, I remember you telling me that the first time.
Such a small world of like, such a big world. Suzuka 8 hour, tell you all these people, but then the main person that I work with, the guy that I'll catch the plane over to Japan with, and that I've done for the couple of tests.
And the one that's tuning and dialing and biking.
Lived here in
That's
amazing.
Mildura.
He lives in Melbourne now, but
you know, this is the thing, and I said, and I keep repeating this, and I'll keep saying it until my lips bleed, that Mildura puts champions on racetracks, food on your plate, whatever the way I said it, whatever. And it's true, but I was thinking about this earlier. Does that come with, because even if Adrian's not on the track and he's working for Ducati, amazing.
Yeah.
But is there a certain level of pressure that comes with growing up in, whether it's a motorsport family or just getting into motorsport in Mildura? Do you feel like there's two parts to this question, actually. Do you feel like there's a bit of pressure that comes along with that? And B, do you feel like people in not only Mildura but Australia are really complacent about the level at which you guys are performing at? Because you're about to go to bloody Japan to take part in the Suzuka 8 hour again. And I haven't seen your mug on the front of the paper. Yeah, no. I'm sorry, but this boils my blood. Yeah. And I'm sure if you were about to play your 300th game at Wentworth, you'd have ads in the paper all week. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like...
I'm not, for my ego, it doesn't worry me because...
I know, but it worries me.
And then, it is... There was like pressure because a lot of the time your family, your parents have put so much into it. You're traveling 12 hours one way to go to compete. Yeah. That's where you felt you had to go perform.
Yeah. So rather than a community type pressure, it's more from like from mum and dad have done all this.
But they never did that. But that's what I felt. And then like motorsport, unfortunately, it's such an expensive sport. Yeah. It's of all disciplines, and everyone will say that theirs is the most, but all of them are expensive.
Oh, of course they are.
You get used to it, and it's just a normal thing. Like, obviously motorsport isn't as big in Australia as it is in other countries. It was like in the UK, it's huge, but other sports are still bigger. Yeah. And that's why I was talking to you. Like in Japan, I'm definitely a lot more.
You're a celebrity in Japan
at the racetrack there, and then it's just different, I guess.
Wow.
And then it's also like all the sports. It's like on I watch the news and Tony Jones comes on. The first thing he talks about is the footy, and I'm not like they're all amazing athletes and everyone's great, but of course they're going to get, even if you've got no interest, if it's in your what's the thing? The second brain. You've got no interest. You don't care what Dusty Marr is doing or who he's going to play for.
We do. First of all, we do care about Dusty Marr.
But you know what I mean. Like even if you're second, you still have.
Yes.
I know that Brisbane are talking to or Gold Coast or whatever.
Yeah, it kind of just rattles over in your brain.
But I've got no big interest in it'll just whatever happens. He's had an amazing career and you get what I and it's just forced. We've had some amazing athletes, motorcycle, motorsport athletes, but the big thing is our media, like other ones, and that's what I like. Because a lot of people think, you just race and I like going to the gym, and then they're like, holy. Yeah. And I'm like I might not be able to lift, but and then a lot of that is also being the country person is in your mind, you don't want to give up. You don't want to, and that was like all sports are hard and all that, but that was maybe like this weekend with there's only one person that you can, with some other sports, if the game's down the other end, you get to rest, where this weekend those guys or racing a car or a bike or a go-kart or speedway car, it's in if you just relax your hurt.
Yeah, exactly. It just seems to me, and I suppose because when you sit back and look at it, and you've got Cam, who is doing amazing things both here and now in the US. Yeah, like that's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
He's just a Mildura boy. Yeah. You're on track. I'm not going to jinx it, but you're sitting on top, touch wood. Yeah. You're sitting on top. You're about to do Suzuka. You've got Phil Lamartina, who's won a couple of Australian drag racing championships. Yeah. You've got Rick Kelly, who has won, 2 or 3 supercar championships and is now building a resort out the road. Yeah. Like, these are people that have been at the absolute top of your game for a long time, and people in Mildura, like you're still working full time. You come here on your lunch break. Yeah. And we just kind of go, oh, yeah. Yeah. Like, is it a tall, and I've asked Phil this before, is it a tall poppy syndrome, or is it well, of course, because you're a Waters or you're a Lamartina or you're a Kelly, of course you're going to be good at it. And if you're not, well, look out. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like still put the work in. Of course you do.
And that. So that's, I was fortunate growing up, living here. The world's changed a fair bit, but I feel like I learned a lot of skills out in the bush, just not racing, just and that's what we used to come home from school and ride around. And I remember Mum, we used to wear the hard jacket overalls, you know, and then you always had to have long sleeves and long pants on. You know, if you were going to ride a bike, you have to, and it didn't matter if it was 50 degrees in the shade.
Doesn't matter because
that's what
gravel rush hurts.
Yeah, loved doing. And then growing up, out the back of Mum and Dad's they got a concrete slab. We used to race around, and I'm Lee Adams, and racing against my mates.
You sound like my husband when you talked about at the launch of the motorsport strategy, because I know my husband was a tragic for Lee Adams. Yep. And I said, oh my God, I've just listened to Josh, who was Lee Adams but used to compete.
Jason Crump.
That's right. Because Luke was like...
And now I know Crumpy really good, like really well, and I why didn't I ever want to be you?
Yeah, and Luke says the same thing, and I'm like, so everyone's got this story, so maybe it is because we've also got decent facilities here. Like, the Speedway's had a bit of work to do. Yeah. Like, there's not the funding that football, netball, hockey, all of those other sports get, which is why I'm trying to raise the profile, particularly for here, because we are like a motorsport nursery, because we've got the space. Like, my kids come home and... every house they've lived in, they've had a flat track because I think it's Dad living vicariously through them, or me maybe, I don't know. But same thing, like you can come home and you can ride your motorbikes from when you're really little, and then if you want to go along to a go-kart session, then Rick Kelly's donated a go-kart to the karting club. You know, so we've got good facilities and the space. So is that why we are so good at it, or is it because of the people that have passed on from generation?
I think a bit of both. I think a mix. And then you say that I've had so many like gun riders now come and stay at home, and they call it the ranch, but it's like Mum and Dad, the paddock, you know, that's what we call it. And that's where I'm about to go and ride after this, is out in the paddock at Mum and Dad's, and on the little bikes that they come over from Japan or from England and ride around on. They just think it's like amazing. And it's pretty funny. You like up the street, and one of the guys who's come over numerous times finished like third in the MotoGP World Championships, stuff like that. And no one knows. They just think, oh, look at this Chinese, but he's Japanese. But like he's legend, you know. And he just loves coming. It's really...
Well, I suppose there's that you can be incognito and you can still work and you can still raise a family without all that added pressure, I suppose.
And then we've got like friends that have popular in the UK that come for a month every year now, and they've spent Christmases here.
Yeah.
Though, since COVID, it stopped, but they've spent the last 2 Februaries here in Mildura.
Yeah.
He does live stuff for Eurosport in the lounge room at home. You know,
That's amazing,
and he's crossing over to the UK, but they just love Mildura.
Yeah, yeah.
And they walk up the street, and you're like, you're in Australia. Do you want to go? Nah. And he's tried 48 flavours. I think it's changed name now, but he's tried like 42 of them, and you know, stuff like that. It's just, and they're legends. He's a racing legend.
I was going to say major celebrities in the UK.
But in Australia,
Yeah. Isn't that funny, though? Because it's just, and I know that we love our team sports, and I don't know, and this is the stuff that does keep me awake at night, because I'm like, gosh, we've got so many champions. Maybe it's because it's an individual sport. Maybe it's not because, you know, because Australians they love an underdog story. They love a team sport. They love that camaraderie. And I suppose and I've had this conversation with Sam Groth as well, who's a friend and colleague of mine. And I'm like, is it because, like people loved him, but we didn't expect him? And I was talking to him about this last time, like, because Wimbledon's on at the moment. I'm like, do you understand how when you took Federer to 4 sets at Wimbledon, that was the year I had my firstborn, so I was up at all hours of the night watching it. I'm like, do you get how that an entire country was up watching you in the middle of the night? It's like, well, nah, not at the time. And I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah.
But he did have that, and with tennis, we know that.
Yeah.
You're about to go and ride in Japan, and it's live on Fox Sports.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'll be watching it. We'll have it on.
Yeah.
But there's not going to be an entire with
no
respect.
one knows. Like that's the thing, and it's like my Australian Superbikes Championship. The racing is really good. Everyone likes it when they watch it. They've made the series. The races are shorter, so it's around 15 to 20 minutes. The reason so people don't get bored. It's live on free-to-air TV on a Sunday afternoon around lunchtime, so it's perfect while you're eating your lunch, but no one knows it's on. And everyone that watches it are like, hey, that was awesome. Like, and I've been raced at Phillip Island on the Sunday, and then I'll be up the street on a Monday, and they're like,
back at work.
Are you the And you're like, and they're like, oh, you're kidding, and you're like, yeah. And then
it's just
not that it's because, and that's the thing, I still want to live here. Like all that thing, it'd be to ride at Phillip Island and stuff like that. It'd be so much easier to live and do something. But I like living here.
Yeah, well,
I don't want to live anywhere else.
Yeah.
So that's my thing. Pain in the ass sometimes with the travelling, but I don't mind driving. I don't mind flying.
At the end of the day, it's a lifestyle, and we do have it. We have it good here.
Exactly.
We really do.
I love going to the people that I train with, the gym. Like I said about
at
the
Yard.
riding,
Let's
at
give
the
them
yard.
a plug.
Yeah, at the
give
yard.
Them a plug.
It's awesome. The trainers, like I said, the people that also that pay to go there. I enjoy training, and that's.
Do they sponsor you with a?
They help me out. They help me. Yeah, so they're fantastic. Yeah, and they and I've been helped by numerous gyms and people.
I've never seen a sponsorship package of yours.
Yeah, no, and then but I just
saying. I'm on the back of Toby's hoodie.
Yeah.
So if you want sponsorship, you got to ask Josh. Come on.
You can wrap my helmet. I'll have your face on my helmet.
I don't think you want that. Well, it might be a good way to keep people away from you. Maybe.
But it's. I enjoy living here and training and doing all the lifestyle that
I just
able
hope
to have.
Yeah. I just hope that it's something that continues.
So do I.
I just it's hard for people, especially now, because money's tight for everyone at the moment, right?
Yep.
And motorsport, like you said before, it's an expensive sport.
Yeah. It's like the Fink Desert race with it's. And I'm not like Hatter's got bigger and bigger, but it's a lot easier to get to Hatter than it is to Alice Springs.
Correct.
And they're fortunate, and it's like with other sports, do you know? It's just the how much everything costs now.
Correct. And Hatter's still run by volunteers.
Yeah.
Right? It's still a community event, and that's the way we want to keep it. Which is, I think,
it's just hard because it's got so
big. That's right. I know, and I've had chats with the Northwest Motorcycle Club
Yep.
about moving forward.
Yeah.
Because they want to keep it as a community event. There's so many volunteer hours that go into running this event, right? They don't want it to turn into Fink.
Yeah.
Yes, Fink's great.
Yeah.
It's hard to get to. I've never been.
Yep.
But we do need to keep these. And Hatta's the only one, Australia-wide, that has the junior classes as well.
Exactly, yeah.
So we need to keep it as our, like, not be insular about it, but remember what it is.
Yeah, and that's where it's just more affordable than doing and with it need to keep it's just hard because it's getting a lot more people want to do it. They sell out in bloody 3 seconds.
Yeah. It's hard to get in.
Then everyone gets angry because
I wanted to just go and do a prologue lap this year. Not on my bike because my bike's embarrassing.
Yeah.
And I've done it and it's embarrassing. I wouldn't ride in public. But I couldn't get on.
Nah.
I've said to John Contract, you go and find me a KLX to ride and I'll do a prologue lap, but I can't do it officially because I can't bloody enter.
Yep. It's crazy.
But if you've got blokes that, I think the beauty of Hatta too is that if you've got blokes that go, it might be my last chance. Yeah, okay, I'll do it. If they can enter, then happy days.
Yeah.
But if you've got, and it's because it's such a big track, I suppose, and for the seniors, it's spread out enough where you can do that.
Yeah.
So it's not causing too much of an issue.
Yeah. But, maybe that'll be the thing because you've got guys like that and then you've got guys that have devoted the last 6 months of their life to training for Hatta.
Or you've got your Chucky Sanders and your Toby Prices
and Callum.
Yeah, your Callum Nortons.
Like they're so fast. And
so fast. But this is the thing,
and
right?
Then you've got, so that's what one of the big things that they have to, like the speed and all that isn't a problem, but it's keeping Jim Bob, who has a bucket list and that Hatta's on it.
Yeah, don't kill me.
And he was able to get it and he decided 6 hours before the event that I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which would be that's exactly how I will. I've always said I want to do the Tenacious Ladies, but
that's the great thing about.
Yeah, it's the great thing about Hatta, right?
Yeah.
Like you've got everyone riding it and it's accessible. And we need to keep, I feel like we need to keep motorsport accessible, but we also need to lift its profile. And that's why I'm actually launching the parliamentary, there's parliamentary friends groups for bloody everything. But I'm launching a motorsport one because there isn't one.
Yeah.
And this is the other thing that really, and stuff that just seems common sense to me seems to have eluded everybody else for eons, right? In the state where we have the Australian Formula One Grand Prix, we have the MotoGP, we don't have a parliamentary group dedicated to the promotion of motorsport.
Yeah.
What? I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
We're the state where Hatta is, which is the breeding ground for Fink, which is then the breeding ground for Dakar, which has been proven.
Now Eddie had, or I'm not sure what, Marvel it's called at the moment.
It was Telstra, but no, Colonial it started out when I was a kid.
They've got like the two best, Jet and Hunter Lawrence, coming and racing. I think it's in November.
Supercross,
Supercross. That is just like huge. They turn that, all the best sporting things.
If I get a super box, do you want to go?
I'm in.
Yeah. I think I might do a fundraiser. I did raise this the other day. I thought, I know a bloke that's got a super box there. I could probably arrange it.
All right.
Because that would be, how good would that be? Because then at least you could, I don't know what your kids.
I know the promoter.
Do you?
But yeah.
Ooh.
So we
might be able to do something else.
Yeah. We'll work on him.
What are your kids like when you take them to like a motocross or a super? Do they just go berserk and want to run around everywhere?
It's funny. Izzy wants Izzy Waters' daughter of Josh.
She's so cute.
That's what she wants. Where Lenny has like NFGs about it. It's just like and it's been really, really cool. Yeah. So he's just turned 4. It's funny because they love riding and stuff like that, but he'll ride if I ride on the bike. And he'll just sit there and, this is cool, Dad. But he'd rather play with dinosaurs and monster trucks.
Does that frustrate you?
No, and like you see other little kids and they're 2 years old and they're doing monos and all this kind of stuff. But he started riding a push bike now, and I said, it's really cool because without training wheels. So we take him to the underground skate park, we call it, the pump track over in Baronga.
Yeah.
And it's just really, really cool. Yeah. But he still has no interest. My daughter loves riding. But I think it's more of putting all the gear on. She spends half an hour putting it on, rides for 3 minutes, but she looks and struts
You know
around
what?
in her. Yeah.
Josh, if she looks good and she feels good, all power to her.
So,
all power to her. That's bloody great.
Lenny doesn't my little boy. He's like, but.
He was so funny. I ran into your father-in-law at the field days. He came and found me and had all the kids with him.
Yeah.
Because you guys were sick. You had COVID or something, didn't you?
No.
Or just crook?
I wasn't crook. I was all right. We went to pick him up. We actually went to the car park and then it's like, well, the kids want to stay. So,
well, any wonder because they were having the best time. They were
loving it.
They were living their best life, going from stall to stall, and
we had to go somewhere. But
they were very fun though, and they were just running rings around poor Chris.
Yeah,
mind you, he didn't seem to mind either. He was quite nonchalant. It was a field days, whatever. But the motor, I know if I take because my kids will watch. They love watching Supercross. They did from the time they were kids. I've got videos of them. Sitting there watching the Lawrence
you
brothers.
have to watch,
So I am going to take them.
That's one of the, and I hope that they get lots of spectators there, but they won't. Unfortunately, they won't get the same amount as if I don't know
the grand final.
No, like two like a Sydney team and a Brisbane team are playing it.
Do you know what I mean? Do that.
No, but it's just I don't know.
It's reality.
We don't have it's reality and the publicity isn't there. They'll have a couple of signs when you leave the airport that you'll see, but no other mainstream. It was really cool. It was on Sunrise. I watched the Today Show, but I seen all the Sunrise things, and it was cool that they made out like they knew who they were. They had no idea.
They had a very good idea. They did well, but you could tell they had no idea who these kids were.
They're just like so popular in.
Although Shervo, I don't know. I reckon he may have.
He might have. Yeah, but they are big deals, and I'm going to go. Because I can't 100%, and that's what.
Well, if you know the promoter, I will make a fundraiser out of it because elections are expensive. And this is another thing. Like we've got Supercross coming, we've got the Lawrence brothers coming.
Yeah,
why wouldn't we be promoting that?
Yeah, so maybe I bet you no one will actually know.
No, I bet you they won't either.
That's the sad thing.
And that's another one I can put on my events list.
Yeah, so that's in Yep.
Yeah, that's in November, isn't it?
Yeah, November.
Yeah.
So
it is in my calendar. Cool. I had it earmarked for that.
That's one of the things. Like, I'm a big motorsport fan. Still, I'm like I watch the V8s. I watch the Top Fuel. I know how they're all going, and that's where But the speedway. I know the speedway results. I know. Yeah. And you just.
But it's one of those things.
I wish I put that into my business or like business things or something like that. But I'm just a huge motorsport fan. Growing up in Mildura, going to Timmins, going to Olympic Park, doing all those things. That's what
I
that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah. And I think it is that, you've got Timmins, you've got the dragway, we've got all of these facilities that allow you to try any discipline you want. Yeah. Which is very, very cool. You don't get that in many places. But
really lucky.
We're very, very lucky. And I just encourage everyone, get your kids involved. It's, my oldest, in fact, is not interested in playing footy at all. He's just like, it's too rough. He'd much rather go out and ride. He'll come and ride his motorbike with me. Like, we're not racing, but around the farm. But teaching him to do that and saying, right, well, there's a bit of sand here, mate. You're heavy enough now. Sit back, put some weight in, and this is how you're... And he's got really good at it.
Also little things of, like, pumping up your tyres. Yeah. Even though it doesn't, like, you're only doing it, feeling it by your fingers kind of thing, but getting them to learn how to put the air compressor, the nozzle on and...
I know some 40-year-old men that can't do that.
Yeah, and, like, little things... like that, fueling up, and it doesn't matter if it does matter, but it doesn't matter if you spill it everywhere. But they're learning washing your air filter and getting all oil all over your hands. But you can just grab
learning to use a drill or a screwdriver and
or
change
like
your plastics and
spanner, or
all that kind of stuff.
And
it's
things
good fun.
So that's where, and especially now with like my young kids, it's hard iPads, and people say, "Oh, we didn't have it." I don't know what I used to do when we were travelling up to the Central Coast every second or third weekend. I forget what I didn't read. I didn't play the Game Boy. We had nothing. You just sat there. Yeah. I don't know what I did, but
our parents certainly. Well, I don't know about your parents. Yeah. I imagine Jules probably didn't give you too much silence, but my parents certainly weren't talking to us or interacting. They were talking among themselves.
Oh, they were yelling at us, to be quiet. But nowadays, like with kids, the world's changed, and they've got and then it's like it's not working. There's no service.
Yeah,
stuff.
Chill out, bro.
And then so that's where it's great. My young fella riding the push bike now, and we ride to the coffee shop.
Have you got him a Sherco bike?
He's got one.
Has he? Yeah.
Not a Sherco. He's got a KTM.
Oh, has he? Oh,
the electric one.
Wow.
So,
wow, la-di-da.
Yeah, that was off Nana Jules. So.
Thanks, Nana Jules. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, my 6-year-old has...
The Sherco. It's all the same.
It's all the same. Same stuff. But he's not...
yellow.
Yeah, but he won't ride the CRF without one of us... Because he can't hold it up himself because he's not quite... He's really strong, but he's just not... Anyway, I reckon after... He's coming to Hatter with me on Sunday, so I reckon after that...
Next year he'll be racing.
No, God, don't say that. Don't say that. I want to have a go first. Yeah. Before I start letting the kids have a go, let me have a go.
But I know that for myself and my brothers are a lot better mechanically than I am.
Is Brody racing this weekend?
Brody's actually racing. Yeah. So he got 7th last... Nah,
He did well
he went Fink. Yeah, he finished in the top 10.
Yeah.
He goes good. He still works a full-time job. He has 3 kids.
Has he got 3 kids?
Yeah,
Has he really?
So it's a little bit, he does it because he loves it.
I should have got you to bring him in as well.
Yeah, he used to be my teammate at Team Suzuki.
Really?
So he won Australian road racing races. He's gone well in Speedway.
I didn't actually know that you and Brody were brothers.
More. Yeah, so the most naturally talented out of the 3 of us is youngest brother.
Yeah.
He's the natural talent. It just oozes, but he got injured at the wrong times but yeah.
Oh, geez, that's
Brody
a shame.
works the hardest.
Does he?
Yeah.
You can tell.
He's like got a lot of mongrel in it,
grit. We call that grit.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah,
and then
But you work really hard too.
I work, but I'm not as I'm a bit of a wimp with pull back sometimes compared to their. Oh no, like just not as
far as you work like your
touch wood again.
Yeah.
Like I go and practice and they'll push it till they crash where I ride it.
You're sensible?
Yeah, or because that you have to do something the next.
But you're the oldest too, aren't you?
Yeah, but I don't have that thing of when I line up on the grid, I think that, I have to work on, sorry for the swear, I have to work on,
podcast.
Yeah, on Tuesday, at Fred
you can
Smith's
tell you're
house.
dialed in.
You want to go, so I think it'll be time to give up when you have that feeling. But But yeah.
Yeah, you can tell Brody's got a lot of grit.
Yeah.
But you also work hard.
Yeah, work hard. And then
you're all naturally talented. Let's be honest. Come on. It's okay to say that, John.
Yeah.
We're also very humble.
Yeah. But it's...
Surely there's got to come a time, talking about all this, surely sometimes, even when you're at home with gin, sometimes you must go, shit, you know what? I have worked really bloody hard and I've done really well. Yeah. Shit, I'm proud of myself.
Yeah, no.
Do you ever have moments like that?
No, she's like, they'll burst your bubble.
Yeah, but that's Gin's job. Yeah. That's fine. My husband's like that as well. But surely you must have, there must be, and maybe that is an end of career thing when that comes, where you look back and go, God, I've achieved a hell of a lot. Given that I'm a kid from Mildura and I've done all of this and I've achieved all this.
Yeah.
Surely you must be happy with yourself at some point and go,
Yeah. I have, and I've got to see so many places in the world and I've got to do so many cool things.
But you still, I feel like you still hold back with saying that.
Because I don't want to be that wanker that everyone... Do you know what I mean?
You don't want to be.
You see I see some people and they stroll around our local town that play in the local sporting things and I'm like...
Yeah. Oh, I know. You don't,
but I don't mean it and everyone can do but I don't want to be that... When I look, I don't want to be that
That wanker.
That person that other people say. I hope people don't say that.
Well,
and that's what
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's what I just don't want.
Yeah,
I always think, and then
it's probably funny. Also.
It's like going. Sorry to butt in, but it's like going to the bike shop across the road. They'll be like looking through things, and you're like, "That's a picture of me," like in the advertising of this thing. But you don't.
So my friend and colleague,
this is how big, this is how cool I am. You know.
Yeah.
You get one.
My friend and colleague Sam Groth has his own highlights reel on his phone.
Yeah.
And I was determined to hate him because he was such a wanker. But in the scheme of things, like looking back, you're like, shit, he's been to the Olympics. He's been to Wimbledon. He's taken Federer to 4 sets. Like this is the kind of thing you kind of go, he's cool. Probably earned the right to be.
Yeah.
To a point.
Yeah.
I get what you mean. Like if you're just playing Sunraysia footy.
Yeah, not
like
footy or like
or whatever.
I know. I was just, I
know what you mean. Like comparisons, there's playing really great sport.
Yeah.
Being a great country football, which is great because you can earn a lot of money. You can earn a decent living from country footy, right?
Yeah.
But then there's, international sports and being really at the top of your game on an international scale. That stuff blows my mind.
Yeah.
And I admire. And my husband always says to me, you just pick out the most obscure sports people to idolise. And I'm like, but these are the people that go about their business. They have either they're naturally talented or they're not, or they just understand that they need to work hard, but they're passionate. They're bloody passionate about something. They'll work their ass off and they achieve something that I, in my wildest dreams, couldn't even think to achieve. So, of course, I'd much rather idolise someone like that.
Yeah.
Than, some other sports people that may not. Do you know what I mean? So,
it's like the 8-hour one, for example, the pressure that it's such a shit feeling because like on race day, you're just nervous as fuck. They've put everything, they're relying on you as a team. It's such a shit feeling sitting in there and all that stuff, but then you love it.
Yeah.
Like,
well, you
it's
can
so
tell.
hot, and then you're like, after it, you're like, oh, I can't wait to do this. Like, or not that day, but like maybe a week later, you're like, okay, well, I hope that they message me again and ask me to ride. Yeah. Like kind of thing.
But you can tell even at the bend last year, you could tell that you were nervous as shit. But you're focused and you're like hating life before the start of the race. But then afterwards, you have a good result and you're on top of the world. Great.
Yeah. And then it's like,
I get
maybe
that.
It's like a drug. I don't know about drugs because I've never taken drugs. But I'm not allowed to, but I haven't. But it's like a drug, maybe like that.
Is it the adrenaline thing?
Adrenaline. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And it's such a shit
Just a
one,
rush.
but it's just like a thing that you want. Yeah.
It's probably the up and down, the ebbs and flows, and the probably a little bit of a psychopath, perhaps.
Yeah, but no, it's just such a
Yeah. Well, now run us through before I let you go. And I know you've got to get back to work, but you are racing in round 4 of the Superbikes.
Yep.
The weekend before Suzuka. Is that right?
So I fly out of here out of Mildura on Thursday morning. The
working
11th.
working up until
no, I won't work that morning because I'm on the 6:50 flight.
Right. Okay.
And then get to Brisbane, drive to the circuit, set up.
Which is at Warwick.
At Warwick, yep.
Scenic part of the world.
Yeah, very. Lot going for it.
Mm-hmm.
Race Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sunday's obviously the race, which you can watch live and free on SBS.
Nice.
At 1:30 p.m, not a.m. And then on the the following morning, I fly to Tokyo.
On Monday morning.
Monday morning.
God.
So, practice Wednesday. Just have to get to the circuit by Tuesday, and they set up and the team there on Monday setting up because they've got hospitalities and there's like huge hospitality suites. There's the team have got
This is the rock
they're
star
selling tickets that are like near $2,000 to come and meet us.
Really?
And then like the team and all that, and you're not a part of the team, but like as a hospitality package,
like a VIP package.
VIP, and they get to meet us.
For $2,000?
Yeah.
Okay, you've just named your price for me to do a fundraiser.
Nah,
fine.
but you know what? Like this is the
no, what I'm going to sell them for. I mean.
No, but it's yeah. So practice on Wednesday. We have Thursday off. That's scrutineering, and they check all your gear and everything like that. But we're fortunate. We don't have to go to the track. Someone does all that for us, and then Friday it all starts qualifying. We have a night session, a practice session on the Friday night, and then Saturday's the top 10 shootout. And like Bathurst, it's like the Bathurst, similar, like for an Aussie to understand. And then Sunday we have warm up I think at 8 a.m, and then race 11:30 till 7:30. Fingers crossed, nothing. We all go well. The thing also at the moment in Japan, at that part of Japan, it's like typhoon season. So the chance of a storm or something like that.
They won't call it off though, because you can race on
No, we still
you
race.
Like a wet track, don't you?
I don't. No, I don't. But fingers crossed, touch wood, all those things. I seem to not like. I seem to like it a little bit more than all the others.
I was going to say you can cope with a wet track.
It doesn't. But then I don't want jinx myself, karma, all those things. So I hate it as much as everyone does, but it is what it is.
But there's more chance that everybody else can have a bad day.
But it's just all different. You need all the stars to align.
I can say it. If I know you don't want to say it.
You need all the stars to align and, and hopefully we have it. It'd be awesome to finish in the top 3 again for that team.
Yeah.
I'm just bloody lucky my teammate's extremely fast and I'm on his team at the moment.
That's amazing. Now, but it was here that you broke your hand last, broke your wrist.
Yeah. So I was actually bloody taken out by the world champion it was. So this year, that world champion, he went, they didn't win last year, but yeah. So I look forward to blowing the stickers off him. But, nah.
That's the best.
Yeah,
I knew I'd get something out of it if I work on you for long enough.
It was, just a racing, just shit happens.
It does.
But, and that was like the thing. I come back, I was operated on up in Brisbane by like a hand specialist that is fond of motorsports.
Yeah.
And then I come back to here and that's where I had all my work done was here in Mildura.
Yeah. Well, Maddie...
Maddie Boyer.
Was,
I was going to her. I was going out to Lyme therapy. I was, it was all...
Our allied health here is exceptional. Exceptional.
And it was... They were all flat out and I just... Yeah, and that's what... when I seen that... Yeah. I'm as soft as... weak as piss. All those things compared to, like, my family members are a lot... But it shows when the surgeon was like, he goes, you should, everything he said was like, you might be able to race. Like he never said you can and all that thing. And then like when I was able to race at Phillip Island, I rang him. I was so happy. And like I've never been upset, but I was so upset after the race because like I got to achieve something that, and then even bloody now I'm getting, because all the, what you went through to do it.
Yeah.
And then it was just and he's like, the surgeon was like, I didn't think you were going to do that. What I did to you, I didn't think you'd be able to.
Yeah.
And I was like, that made me feel, but it was because I had the help of, everyone else. So
you've had that support. Well, then maybe it is just a quiet crowd in motorsport that gets behind our superstars. Yeah. And I'm sorry, Josh, you are a bloody superstar, so just take it. That help to support your journey.
Yeah.
And if I can do that by setting up a bloody friends group and promoting us and keep saying that we put champions on racetracks and food on your plate in Mildura, because that's what we do.
Yeah.
And we will hopefully continue to do that. And with role models like yourself, like Brody, like Rick Kelly coming back and coming back into Mildura, and Phil and everybody else. That's, Toby Hedricks as well. I can't forget Toby. I'll get him in. He injured himself. Anyway, that's a whole... I could sit here.
Oh, he trains at the same gym.
Yeah, I know. But this is one of those things. Like I've been wanting to get you guys in for so long, and I could sit here and talk to you for hours because there's all these little things that I think about, and I'm like, gosh, this is the thing that I actually want to know. It's so different for us that just get on a motorbike and love riding around for
Yeah.
You know, it's our happy place.
Yeah, yeah.
And love doing silly things on a farm where no one can see us.
Yeah, yeah.
But to actually go and do what you do blows my mind.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see what you do next.
Yeah.
Best of luck with the rest of the championship.
Thank you.
We will be at Phillip Island. I'll make that a parliamentary event.
Yep.
We will be at the Bend. I won't be in Japan, but with an event, with an invitation perhaps and a sponsorship next year, maybe I could if you get the call up again.
Yeah, yeah. Well, hopefully I go all right at all those events, and
You've got a bit on.
Yeah. So fingers crossed. I'll try my hardest, and that's all I can do.
That's all you can do. Yep. Thank you for coming in today. It's really appreciated.
Thanks for taking an interest, and appreciate it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I live in Mildura. I choose to live here. We love it. Are you at Hatter this weekend?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yep.
Supporting in the pits with Brody.
Yeah.
Terrific. Well, we might come and do a video at the same time.
Yeah, awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, Josh.
Cool.
In the heart of the nation where laughter's the key, Natch has the podcast, join the revelry. Taking the Mickey with positive spin. Country folks unite, let the Nat Chat begin. Nat Chat where the laughter's free. Spinning tales about politics with positivity.